Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cindy. I am a full-time reseller. Resell with my husband on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, all the different platforms. And I am here today to talk about the top 5 things that I think you should avoid as a new Amazon seller. So the first thing that I think you should avoid as a new Amazon seller is being impatient. A lot of people come on YouTube, social media, Twitter, whatever, and they post these huge numbers and they make it seem really easy. And it almost feels like a get rich quick program. And Amazon is anything but a get rich quick program. It's gonna take some time. You're gonna have to learn a new system. You're gonna have to learn new product lines. Give yourself some grace, take some time, have patience. The second thing that I think you need to avoid as a new Amazon seller is going in too deep on your first SKU. You're going to see kind of all of these run together. See, a lot of times people get started on Amazon, they're going to the store, they're scanning all of the items, and they're gated and everything. Nothing has profit in it, whatever that may be. And so what happens then is they find that first item, that very first one that they can sell that has profit in it. And they're like, this is it. I've finally won. I have won the lottery. And they buy 200 of them. Well, when you go in deep on one SKU as a brand new seller, you have X amount, you have finite dollars in capital to spend on product for Amazon. So you've now taken all of your capital and you've put it into one product. So you now have one hook in the ocean. If that item tanks, if you were wrong about it, if something happens with that, all of your capital is tied up in this one item. So don't go in so deep on the first one. There will be more. I promise. There are always more items that you can find. And every time you find a product, you find a area of the store that there are products to sell in, a store online, a liquidator, whatever that may be, it opens up new doors to more items and more items and more items. So don't take all of your capital and go in too deep on that very first item. Have a little bit of patience. Trust the system. It's gonna work. Number 3, this is a big one, not understanding rank. So on Amazon, they assign a rank to every single product in their catalog. That rank is affected by sales. Amazon ranks are like golf scores, the lower the better, but the rank is category specific. So a rank in a category like books that has millions and millions of products is very different than the rank of an item in, say, automotive, which is a much smaller category. So you go into the store and you're scanning your items and you find this product and you're thinking this is great. But if you don't understand the rank system, then you may be looking at a product that isn't so great. So understand the ranks. If you're like, how do I do that? I don't want to go and spend a lot of money on a bunch of third-party software because just starting out. I get that. Hey, totally get that. Would not suggest that you do that. Go in, find some products in some different categories on Amazon. Look at what the ranks of those products are. Scroll all the way to the bottom, see that little BSR is what it's called. It's the Amazon rank number. When those products have third-party sellers on them, find a few of those. You're gonna have to put in some time. We go back to have some patience. But look at, okay, this product in automotive says that Suzy Q has 5 items left. It has a rank of X. I'm gonna save that item. Tomorrow, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna see, did Suzy Q sell any of them? If she did, how many did she sell? What happened to the rank? If she didn't sell any, what happened to the rank? I'm gonna do that in a few different categories. Why? Because now I'm gonna understand if an item has a rank of X, they sell every day. if an item has a rank of Y, it sells 10 items a day. I can figure that out directly on Amazon's site without having to pay for any third-party software, and it's going to give me a better idea. It's not going to be perfect of rank, but I also need to pay attention to how the seasonality or the trends affect those ranks also. So maybe it is February and I go and I'm scanning my items and I find a Christmas tree that has a super low rank. Like, this is great. Well, is it? Or is that rank low because of all the sales that happened right before Christmas and right after? And now it's February. And so I can say, oh, well, yes, the rank is low today, but it's probably going to go up because sales are going to slow because there's a seasonality to this item. Is this just a trend? Did it go wild on TikTok? Figure that out before you say yes to spending your capital on an item to sell on Amazon. Number 4, and this one may upset some people. That's okay. Only getting your BOLOs from a BOLO group. So what is a BOLO group? There are a lot of what they call BOLO groups. They've also been called cook groups, all sorts of different names. Leads lists, places where people share information, places where people will tell you, go buy item X at store Y to sell on Amazon to make this profit. Now, I'm not saying that those are bad. In fact, I think they can be really, really helpful. But I see them differently than what a lot of people see them. I see them as idea chambers. If I go onto a listing that I found in a BOLO group, somebody told me, go buy this. And I go and buy it, and there are 500 people in that group. Well, now there are 500 other people selling that same item on that same listing, and the price is going to come down. It just is what it is. That's how these things work. More people get scared that their item isn't going to sell. They race to the bottom. They don't understand that the buy box rotates. Buy box is that magical little box when you're a buyer and you go on Amazon and you say, buy now, one click. That one click is the buy box. Whoever is selling in that box has the buy box. They're going to get the sales. Just because your item is the lowest price doesn't always mean it has the buy box, because the buy box rotates. It is not solely dependent upon price. Buy box can be held by Amazon. You can go in and find an item that looks great, but Amazon's on that listing and they don't share the buy box on that listing. So they're always going to have it. Does that mean you're never going to be able to sell that item? No, there are going to be people like you and I now that understand that the buy box is not always the lowest price for that item. And so we're going to click see other sellers and we're going to see if anybody has it cheaper. But for the most part, they share. Amazon will share. When there are only third-party sellers on there, it absolutely rotates. So you can hold on. As long as you're competitive, it'll rotate to you. Now, how often does the buy box rotate to a brand new seller versus a seller that has 1,000 of those products and has thousands of feedback? Well, the brand new seller isn't going to get it as often. Let's just be honest. But they will get it. But back to our BOLO groups, when we have a whole bunch of people all drop onto the same listing at the same time, you watch the price fall. So in my opinion, we go into these BOLO groups and they're idea chambers. So if I start to see that brake pads, I don't sell in automotive. I don't know anything about automotive, so that's why I'm using it, because hopefully I'm not blowing up anybody's game here. If I see that brake pads are trending and all of a sudden all of these people are making money on brake pads on this specific one, I can go, okay, well, if somebody's buying brake pads, what else are they buying? What might go with this? If this is a trend, if Amazon is out of this product, are they out of any similar products? So now I can find BOLOs that aren't shared in the BOLO group, that I can be the only one on the listing, and I don't have to worry about that price tanking. If every item that you are sourcing is coming from a BOLO group, you are always going to be fighting the race to the bottom. You are, excuse me, always going to be fighting those people who will work for pennies. And if that's not you, you don't want to work for pennies, you don't want to sell products at a 5% ROI, great, I'm with you. You're going to have to find your own items then. You're going to have to do a little more research, have a little more patience. And the last one, that I want to talk about, the last thing that you need to avoid as a new Amazon seller is giving up. It is very difficult in the beginning. It feels very difficult. It's difficult to find items. It's difficult to source those items. You feel like all of these things are set up against you. It's worth the struggle. Anytime we start anything new in life, it's hard. But if you can stick with it and not give up, then the rewards, the sky's the limit. You can do as much as you want, but you're going to have to stick with it. And it is going to be hard in the beginning, but it's worth it. Amazon takes more than 60% of all online e-commerce purchases. If you want a piece of that pie, you're going to have to stick with it. So those are my top 5 things to avoid as a new Amazon seller. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you thought and what you think people should avoid. See you next time.